Hey folks, welcome to Devlog 7 for BugSquash. If you're new here, BugSquash is an upcoming game you can wishlist right now on Steam. Today, we have a massive update. It's time to talk money, reputation, and of course, the terrifying new bug, Wasps. Here's what's packed into this update. A brand new shop system where you can spend your hard-earned cash on new weapons and essential gear upgrades. The social media and reputation system is live. Your performance on jobs is now being tracked and rated, which will eventually determine your available contracts and potential paychecks. We've added partial rewards for incomplete jobs, so you always get something for your effort, even if a bug or two slips away. And finally, meet the latest pest to terrorize your home, the new Wasp bug. Alright guys, here is the latest build for BugSquash, Devlog 7. Let's go ahead and create our profile. I'm going to call it BugSquasher as usual. And let's go through some of the new features. So the first feature here I want to show is you'll see the new button here called Shop. Very self-explanatory. And here is where you can now purchase upgrades to your weapons and also purchase new weapons. These weapons are obviously not available yet. Right now, all we have is the very standard swatter, very reliable weapon that we have to squash bugs with. You can add items to your cart. You can remove items from your cart. You can only purchase items that you can afford. Right now, we have no funds available, so we can't purchase anything. And you'll notice that each of these upgrades has its own color and also its own icon. And these prices are tied to the actual weapon itself. So each weapon has its own upgrade path. These values are not final. I still have to tweak them. But in general, each weapon will have some sort of power associated with them, how much damage they do. The speed, so how quickly they can attack, area effect, how much area they can hit. So in terms of a swatter, it's almost like the size of the swatter kind of increases, right? And range is another self-explanatory feature, is how far it can hit. So now we have some money. Let's see what we can add here. So I think I like having a bit more power. So after you click add to cart, notice that now the purchase button is available to be clicked on. If you remove this, well, that's still the same functionality as we had before. So that's cool. If you add another one, we can still afford this because we have 158 available and it's only costing us 100. Once we add something that's too expensive, we're no longer able to afford it. So let's try to see if we can get back to what we want here. We can purchase this, and then notice that after we purchase upgrade, this the upgrade we purchase now updates to show that, hey, now we can upgrade to the next level. It's going to cost a little bit more. We can get to power 3, and let's go ahead and try purchasing that just to see it again. And now you can see that we're at power level 4 now, costing 100, and we can continue on until it gets to the max level. So that is the new feature for shopping. I do want to quickly show how I set up the grid icons for the shop. This is how I set up my files. In Krita, I typically have just one file that has serves kind of as the template for what I want to do. In this case, I just want to create a bunch of upgrade icons. Not just upgrade icons, but even weapon icons that you can purchase in the shop. So they'll all have a border. So I have a border right here that I just turned on. And they'll have different backgrounds. So I created these individually, and I can turn them on and off as I wish. I have some backgrounds here. So I have one for power, I have one for speed, range, and area. So, and then we have the swatter. So as you can see, it looks kind of weird right now because there's a bunch of icons on here all overlapped on each other. But the point of this is that now that I have everything in one spot, in one Krita file, I can export all of these textures based on what textures I want to put together. So what I did was for the power icon for the swatter, I have my swatter in the middle there, and I want specifically just the power, then that's all we got. So then what I would do is I would export this as a PNG, and then I'd go on to the next one. So what I would do here is export this as a PNG file. So go here, export, have a bunch of upgrade icons here. I can call this swatter power, and that's it. So after that, next one would be speed. Just change that and do the same thing again. Just export, speed, and we're done. Obviously these are already here, so I don't want to replace them. So yeah, that's a little bit of behind the scenes of how these were created. Okay, so the next major feature I want to talk about is the social media. So last devlog I teased social media a bit. I said that there was a button here. I didn't do anything yet, but now this button actually does do something. If you click on it, you'll see that now you have your profile here. It looks kind of like a little bit like Facebook, right? Or maybe Google reviews, where you have your clients, they will actually review you based on your performance, how well you've squashed the bugs that you were told to squash, and you'll actually get a bunch of likes. So what the plan is here is you will unlock new tiers based on how many likes you have. So perhaps the next one might unlock a new weapon that you can now purchase, for example. I'm also planning to add things like adding new property types that get unlocked once you've received enough reputation. This is what I like to call it. The likes are kind of like your reputation, right? So there's two things here. You've got your rating, how well you've been doing your job, and then number of likes is just in general how many people are aware of you as a bug squasher. So these factors will influence how much money you might get paid. It might influence how many bugs end up being on the job, and also what kind of features you have available to you as a bug squasher, such as different weapons, for example. Here's another feature that was added. Previously, what happened was when you quit, you basically get no money at all, and that kind of sucks, right? Sometimes you're not able to find that one bug that just seems to escape, and you just can't find it. Especially spiders. Spiders are very, very hard to find. They don't make any noise at all. So if you just don't find them and you need to, move on to the next job, at least you get a little bit of money back. You get partial rewards. You'll get some likes. You won't get as many likes as you would normally get, but you get something. Now what happens is sometimes if you do a really bad job, and actually let's try to demonstrate this. So let us try to start a job and then just quit immediately. Let's see what happens. So here, job is incomplete. You get basically almost nothing. I don't know why you even get one like here, but you get no money earned, and you get basically almost nothing. So now here you'll notice I quit a few times without even doing anything, and you can see that now my reputation or my rating has gone down substantially. Used to be getting a bunch of 5 stars, now I'm getting a bunch of 3 stars, 1 star, and so on. This is probably the time when I missed that one bug, and these are just very bad, of course. Not surprised at all. What I'm also planning to do with the reputation system is, because right now there's only one type of property, and also there aren't that many bugs yet, right? There's only about like maybe 6 bugs on average that you're seeing in the game right now for each job that you're doing. Once you get better at this, once you start getting more weapons that you can kill bugs a lot faster, and find them a lot faster, you'll probably want to kill, you know, 10, 20, 30, maybe even 100 bugs. And that's what the reputation system is going to be able to kind of do for you, right? It'll, if you've been really good at killing bugs, it's gonna challenge you and give you more bugs to kill when you have a really high reputation. When you have those 5 stars, and when you have a lot of likes, you'll get the big jobs where you're killing a lot of bugs, right? So that is the plan I have. Fortunately, it seems like I can't finish these jobs. These jobs are a lot harder than I expected. See if I can get this done. Got a spider there. So here's an example of completing a job where you earn quite a decent amount of likes because you completed the job. There were 6 spiders in total. We get all of them. This is the maximum amount of money you can earn. If you look on social media, it's still, you know, we can do better. Obviously, because of these 1 stars, we have to do a few more jobs with 5 stars to be able to get our reputation back up. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Now I want to show you the new bug, the Wasp. So this was actually quite a fun bug to make. So the one thing to know about the Wasp is that it functions similar to a fly, but the biggest thing is you don't just kill the wasps themselves, but you kill the nests. If you don't kill the nest, if you don't squash the nest, then the nest will continue to spawn wasps, and that's no fun, right? So there's me destroying a nest, but there's still a bunch of wasps that have spawned from the nest. So the thing about wasps is the best strategy is you gotta get the nest first. If you don't get the nest first, you're gonna end up with a ton of wasps, and that's just not fun. So one very interesting caveat with wasps is you don't actually earn extra money for destroying wasps. You only earn money for destroying the nests. So there's no advantage to letting the wasps continue to spawn from the nest. It's best to destroy the nest as soon as you can. So as you can see, because there's so many wasps that are still here, because I let them spawn for a bit longer than I would like, it's taking me a while to finish the level. But as you can see, the wasp nest is done. We killed 20 wasps in total, which is a decent amount. But we are earning more money and more likes because wasps are technically a lot more dangerous and harder to hunt than flies. So, and even spiders. So, so yeah, that's what we have for a new bug, the wasp. I also did with the wasp nest is have them kind of randomized in terms of their size. So you'll see some are large, some are small, to make it a bit more dynamic. This one's a little too small, but no. Wasp nest is a wasp nest. That's just a massacre. This is our best job yet. Look at that. 14 wasps, 3 wasp nests destroyed, 2 flies, 1 spider. We got 9 likes and a bunch of money. I want to show you another small tweak I made with regards to how the bugs spawn based on the terrain of the map. So you'll notice that there's some concrete looking terrain here, and then there's some dirt over here, and later on there's going to be a bit of grass. So you can see here, shows you that there are spiders in this area. Spiders also here. But then as you can see over here, you'll see a few more bugs. And in particular, you notice that there's wasps in here as well. So what I've done is, based off of the terrain, you will get different bugs that spawn there. In particular, and this wouldn't call this much of a spoiler, but you won't see wasps in a concrete area. You'll only see wasps in dirt and later on in grass. So the further out you go into the wilderness, the more bugs, or more bigger and more dangerous bugs that you'll end up facing. So as you can see, I've started to do more jobs, getting a bunch of likes, getting a bunch of 5-star ratings. So now my ratings are going up a lot more. So the more jobs you do, the more likes you have, and the higher your rating, the more bugs that you'll end up spawning in your job. So this one, now we're seeing a bit more. Eventually you'll be able to get 10, 20, 30, maybe even 100 bugs that you'll have to squash. To compensate, you'll also get bigger weapons, not just weapons, but even tools that'll help you hunt the bugs faster. So as you can see, for this job in particular, if I leave now, I'll only earn 5 likes, $44, and I only missed 1 bug, right? So let's see how this changes after I actually find that bug and kill it. Alright, here we go. There's that spider, and let's see. So look at that. We earned a whole $30 more. 2 extra likes. So there is a relatively substantial difference. Missing 1 bug versus getting all of them, right? So, and just to demonstrate, to see what happens when you try to leave before, you get nothing. You get absolutely nothing. You get 1 like, which honestly, I don't even think you should get 1 like. I think this is a bug. I'm gonna fix this so you actually get negative likes. And that's a wrap for this devlog. This has been one of the biggest updates yet for BugSquash, and I'm thrilled with how the game is shaping up. The major features are now solid, which means the remaining work is all about fun, adding tons of new content like extra bugs, levels, and weapons. That's what we'll be seeing in the next few updates. Before you go, BugSquash is ready for you to wishlist on Steam right now. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I read every comment, so please let me know what you think of this update. And if you want to keep up with the journey, hit that like and subscribe button. It's the best way to support the channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next devlog.